If he's not jabbing, he has no defense. If he's not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. For the final uppercut, for he can anticipate the combination. If he was flipping the jab, the guy wouldn't throw the combination. When he was jabbing, Canelo should be moving, flipping the jab.
Mike Tyson caught the boxing community off guard by offering Canelo Alvarez an unconventional tactical proposal for defeating Terence Crawford in their highly anticipated fight. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford expressed his excitement about facing another top-tier champion like Canelo, stating that their September 13th fight will be a night fans will remember for years. He talked with real passion, convinced that their fight will have the high-level action that keeps boxing alive in the hearts of its fans.
I'm definitely honored to be in that situation and a position to share the ring with another great. You know, it's going to be a hell of a night come September 13th.
Crawford went on to say that both he and Canelo faced reaction after their most recent performances, and that critics are ready to see them redeem themselves. He stated that he will bring a far more assertive style to this battle, urging viewers to expect non-stop action from the start. According to Crawford, this is more than just winning. It is about proving to the world that he is still one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport.
Is his performance against William Skull, did you take more confidence from that fight?
A lot of people criticized my last performance, so, you know what I mean? We both need to step it up, I guess.
That's one from me, Terence. Obviously, we've seen Turkey El Sheikh mention no Tom and Jerry fights. You've said yourself you're going to put it on him, you're going to come for him. Do we see an explosive Terence Crawford that people won't have been expecting to see?
That's why you got to watch the fight so you can see.
I'll get a message to Canelo.
See you soon.
Mike Tyson, on the other hand, advised Crawford to avoid this bout due to the two combatants' substantial size differences. Tyson cited Crawford's less-than-dominant moments against the larger and gainly Israel Madrimov, implying that such physical shortcomings may be a major issue against someone as powerful and talented as Canelo Alvarez.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know. And he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, but this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky.
In another remark, Tyson directly advised Canelo to rely primarily on his jab as his major weapon against Terence Crawford. He emphasized that a sharp and consistent jab might disrupt Crawford's rhythm, limit his offensive surges, and open up opportunities for stronger blows later in the fight. Tyson emphasized that adopting such a simple, frequently overlooked item could be the key to disrupting Crawford's game plan.
If he's not jabbing, he has no defense. If he's not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Just pretty much jab. When he was jabbing, Canelo should be moving, flipping the jab for the final uppercut. For he can anticipate the combination. If he was flipping the jab, the guy wouldn't throw the combination.
Former competitor Gabe Rosado leaned somewhat for Canelo, although his reasoning was based on style matchups. He recalled how William Skull's movement and uncomfortable rhythm influenced Canelo's decision not to press too forcefully in their fight, instead saving energy for more strategic times. Rosado also mentioned how Madrimov's physicality caused Crawford problems at 150 pounds, adding that facing Canelo at 168 pounds is a completely different and far more dangerous issue.
Madrimov did give Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, you know, I think the Skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. This guy's running. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Madrimov did give Crawford problems. You know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, is focused and mentally prepared, having spent training camp perfecting his technique, increasing his intensity, and adhering to a systematic fight strategy. Every sparring round and conditioning practice is carefully tailored to prepare him for Canelo's unique combination of strength and talent. The atmosphere in his camp has been described as laser-focused, with no distractions permitted to disrupt his preparation for the biggest fight of his career.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas. And understand that for every level, there's another devil. It is the devil's job to create challenges, issues, and conflicts, insecurities, fear, because he wants to put you to a test. But I can tell you now, I piss the devil off every day because I just don't stop. And the devil is so mad. This guy, doesn't matter if he gets sick, it doesn't matter what happens to his money or his finances. Every time he gets out of his bed and he's on a mission to get it done. As you begin to look at your life,
Crawford's trainer, Jose Benavidez Sr., issued a candid evaluation suggesting that the fighter is no longer the same, citing a deterioration in reflexes, punching power, and footwork. He projected that Canelo would try to finish the fight via knockout, requiring Crawford to rely on rapid scoring spurts and movement to survive. In his opinion, this dynamic might result in a tense and perilous battle in which one mistake by Crawford could decide the outcome.
Crawford has not been looking really good. We saw how he looked in his past fight. So Canelo, like I said, the reflex are not there, this power is not there. The knees are not the same. So Canelo's going to try to knock him out, but Crawford's going to do what he does best. He's going to move around, try to win the rounds, touch him, and move, I think if Crawford stays, Canelo can knock him out, because Canelo's the bigger guy. I don't think Crawford's going to come and give the fans what they want, He don't care, he's just going to come and win and beat him. I don't know if they're going to give it to him, but it's just going to be a Tom and Jerry fight.
British fighter Jack Catterall praised both men as great athletes, but eventually predicted Crawford's victory. He highlighted that if Crawford wins, it should not come as a surprise, as his skill set and versatility equip him to compete against practically anyone in the sport.
I've been changing my mind, chopping and changing. Two tremendous fighters in their own right. I won't call it an upset, but I'm going for a Crawford victory.
Virgil Ortiz believes Terence Crawford will be unable to defeat Canelo Alvarez due to size and weight differences, pointing out that Crawford is moving up 3 weight classes to face one of boxing's greatest. Ortiz commended Crawford's knowledge and skill, but believes Canelo's strength, stature, and sharpness give him the advantage. He cited Canelo's check hook against Berlanga as proof that he still possesses outstanding timing. Ortiz said Crawford has a chance, but if he wins, he will become Ortiz's all-time #1 fighter.
I think he is, but if he beats Canelo, he'll be like my #1 fighter of all time.
You don't think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. And look, hear me out. I respect Crawford and everything that he's doing, but he just moved up from 147, so I'm just gonna treat him as a 147 pounder. He's jumping up 3 weight classes to fight someone who was like the #1 fighter in all of boxing, The jump would be hard, even if it was just like some top 10,
right, yeah.
Bud, would you say he's a very smart fighter?
Yes.
Very calculated,
Yes.
right? Don't you think that maybe he sees something that most people aren't seeing?
I think he does, but the thing is he gonna be able to even to capitalize on it? Because he's a smaller fighter, and look, I think people are thinking at the aspect of, can Crawford do it? Yes, I think he can do it.
Veteran trainer Robert Garcia warned against increasing too much muscle mass ahead of the battle. He warned Crawford that too much weight would impede his footwork, impair his combos, and reduce the very tools that make him unique. Garcia compared the circumstance to Floyd Mayweather's strategy, noting that Floyd defeated larger opponents by relying on technique, timing, and intelligence rather than trying to match their bulk.
With Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that Crawford, Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight.
Abel Sanchez lauded both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez as clever and skilled boxers, but favored Canelo due to his size and defensive ability. He stated that Canelo has taken massive punches from strong opponents such as Gennady Golovkin, Dmitry Bivol, and Sergey Kovalev without exhibiting indications of weakness, demonstrating his ability to absorb power. Sanchez pointed out that Crawford gets hit more, even at 150 pounds, and that no matter how fantastic Crawford looks or how much weight he gains, facing someone with Canelo's strength and size is an entirely different task.
Well, first of all, Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but so is Canelo. I think that, in my opinion, their IQ is similar, except Canelo doesn't get hit like Crawford gets hit. In my opinion, Canelo's a bigger man. Not that he started out as a bigger man, but he's now a bigger man. He has been hit by not only Gennady, who's one of the biggest punchers that I've ever seen, but he's also been hit by Bivol, by Kovalev, who's a big puncher. You know, he's been hit by big guys. Crawford had a hard time with a 154-pounder who hit him often. So I think that no matter how much weight he puts on, no matter how smart he thinks he is or how big he thinks he is, he's going to be getting hit by a truck.
Furthermore, former multi-division world champion Shane Mosley made a bold prediction for Canelo in the upcoming fight. Mosley admitted that Crawford is a highly skilled fighter who can defeat anyone, but he believes Canelo will prevail in the end. He praised his qualities and expressed his satisfaction if he wins on September 13th. He believes Canelo will have no issue with the task. However, he predicts that he will win if he sticks to his usual tactics. Canelo's strength and experience at 168 are crucial factors for Mosley.
It'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. Yeah. But the only thing is Canelo has them by 2 weight divisions. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily. But we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. You know, I'm happy for him. If he can pull off, great. But my mentor, my mind's telling me that Canelo's gonna probably be.
Sergio Morris believes that as the fight approaches, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford will be a 50-50 match. He praised Crawford as a furious, intimidating fighter who has grown into a strong, muscular body and now resembles a middleweight. Mora had predicted Canelo to win, but now believes Crawford has a legitimate chance to outbox him, land clean punches, and force Canelo to show his age. He believes Crawford might provide the best performance of his career, making the fight a historic event.
I just think ultimately Crawford just is a mean mofo. This dude mean. Yeah. I mean, I met Bud a couple of times. You know, he pulls me aside and he gives me that look. He's a mean, intimidating dude, man. Yeah. And then I've been seeing how he's been growing into the frame. He's gotten big. He's gotten muscular, and he's looking more like a middleweight, super middleweight. The closer the fight gets, the more I'm looking at Crawford like, this dude might do something, man. Because all along I haven't changed my tune. I say Canelo's gonna win this fight, but he's not gonna come out of it unscathed. I can see him being bruised up, battered, maybe a little bit of blood, but his size is gonna come in the end. Now I'm starting to change my tune. I can maybe see the day that we've seen Canelo finally get old. No excuses, just Crawford pot-shotting him, having the night of his life, and we just watch something great. I can visualize it, man. So the closer this fight gets, the more that I'm looking at it like a 50-50 fight.
Abdullah Mason thinks Crawford has a decent chance of winning. He believes Crawford's strength will surprise many, but the fight will ultimately be decided by who performs better on the night and comes in more prepared. Roy Jones Jr. also stated that he is not concerned about the weight difference between Canelo and Terence Crawford since great talent can transfer to any weight class. He emphasized that Crawford is so technically proficient that size becomes less significant. Roy's main question: Crawford believes he can handle the power at a higher weight. having trained with bigger fighters such as super middleweights and light heavyweights. Roy emphasized that when a fighter is truly adept, their strengths grow with them as they advance. He's more concerned with how much talent and technique a fighter brings to the ring than with their size.
You know how to box? When you're as skillful as Terrence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. Only thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch? And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now, if you don't have a skill, you can't take the weight, take it up, because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. But when you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you. You talk to the GOAT, I went out with a heavyweight.
No, it's a lot of the people, which is why I brought up, would use the weight as an advantage for Canelo. But I agree, and you're right. Canelo fights obviously taller fighters all the time and wins. It's about skill as opposed to, a lot of the time anyway, as opposed to weight.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not really worried about the weight. I'm worried about the skill level that they use.
Furthermore, Brian Norman Sr. strongly believes Terrence Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez, noting that he has learned not to gamble against Crawford after previously losing money doing so. He now considers himself a believer, praising Crawford as a really skilled and cerebral fighter. After studying Crawford up close, Norman described him as a frightening presence in the ring with the type of boxing intelligence that enables him to win. He dismissed the notion that Crawford defeating Canelo was improbable, maintaining it is entirely possible given Crawford's skill set.
I got Crawford. I'm sorry. I was about to say Canelo. Where'd that come from? I got Crawford, man. I learned to not bet against Crawford. I won't bet against Crawford again. I lost a lot of money betting against Crawford. So you know, those days of my life are over with. I've drunk the Kool-Aid.
You're a believer now.
I'm a believer now. Yeah. Crawford is that guy, man. Crawford is that guy. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and you know, I've seen Crawford personally. I've seen him in the ring personally, and I mean, he a bad man. So I'm gonna have to say, just like with my son, I'm gonna have to say just with the boxing IQ, with it's certain things, man. It's certain things. I think that Crawford's gonna figure out a way to win. I don't think this is so. I don't think for how some people are looking at this, I don't think it's so far-fetched that Crawford can beat him. I just don't see that so far-fetched as some people are trying to make it.
Ryan Garcia stated that while great things can happen when two elite fighters square off, he does not see Terrence Crawford defeating Canelo Alvarez. He said Crawford may show him wrong, but he feels the size difference will play a significant impact. Garcia, who has trained with Canelo, stated that Canelo is powerful enough to push back heavyweights and that this is the first time in a long that Canelo will be the naturally larger man. He believes this will help Canelo to fight more freely and effectively. Garcia stated that, while he admires Crawford's abilities, he believes Canelo will prevail.
Two great fighters, great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style though.
Do you give Terrence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight. So I don't know how he's like, because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off, and now he could fight even more freely, you know? So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter, and he could surprise me. But right now, where I would put my money is Canelo.
Lonnie B is still sure that Canelo will win the fight and says nothing has changed his view. He anticipates the first few rounds to be competitive, but believes Canelo will take control as the fight proceeds. While Lonnie acknowledged Crawford's skill as a fighter, he also mentioned that Israel Madrimov caused him trouble. He believes Crawford will struggle to move up from 160 to 168 pounds, especially given Canelo's expected weight of approximately 200 pounds on fight night. Lonnie also pointed out that Canelo has never been stopped and questions Crawford's ability to keep him at bay.
I think you favored Canelo to win the fight.
Yeah.
Has anything changed from then? Is it now closer?
No.
Has it not changed?
Nope.
Nothing.
I think it's going to be a good fight for the first 4 rounds. I think Canelo's size just going, take over. Like I said, I could be wrong. Crawford's phenomenal. But from what I seen with the kid Maxtronoff and the way he gave him trouble moving up 2 more weight classes, 60 to 68, and Canelo gonna come in about damn near 200 pounds. You know, I just think I just don't think Canelo's never been stopped, and I don't think he's gonna be able to keep Canelo off of him.
That's all for today's video. So, what are your feelings about this? What are your thoughts on the impending Canelo versus Crawford fight? We'd love to hear your comments on this. So leave your ideas in the comments box, and if you loved the video, please subscribe and like. Also, check out our other videos on the screen to the right.